able to hold on for the victory. What was the difference?
Well, look, they've been building the lead, Chris, in all three of these games. But the difference tonight was normally when the Celtics get a lead, they rely on their one-on-one play to extend or hold their lead. Tonight, they almost fell into that same trap against the Boston Celtics when they went to that 2-3 zone. They started playing one-on-one basketball. Brad Stevens got a timeout, put Hayward back in the game, and they started moving the basketball. And if they get the ball from strong to weak with all the athleticism and now with Hayward back, now you have four guys on the floor that can beat people off the dribble and score. This is the way they have to play. And you saw the stat line for Jason Tatum. To me, his most complete game since they've been in the bubble. He stuffed every category tonight. If he plays like that, and not just the scoring, but the rebounding and getting his teammates involved by moving the basketball, then the Celtics have an excellent chance of getting back in this series. Because, Chris and Karan, this could be 3-0 to Celtics right now, or at least 2-1, and they know that.
Karan, the Celtics had 4 players score over 20, but let's go with a guy who didn't score more than 20. Gordon Hayward played 30 minutes in his first game back after missing a month with that ankle sprain. How big was he? We said it earlier, bigger than the box score. I mean, he ended up with just 6 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals, but was really the glue that put this together.
I mean, he was another offensive weapon. We talked about Jaylen Brown. We talk about Jason Tatum. We talk about Gordon Hayward. We talk about Kemba Walker, all those guys. And we also talked about all that playmaking ability out there. You look at the size of those playmakers, 6'7", 6'3", Smart, Tatum 6'8", Walker 6 foot, Brown 6'6", all out there. And when Gordon Hayward came out, he immediately started making plays, and I was just surprised by the minutes that he was able to play, which led me to believe that he's extremely healthy. He found his spots in the defense where the Heat had to respect him, and he opened up opportunities, even though he didn't shoot a ton. But when he did, was a threat offensively, like going downhill. The wall wasn't there because his playmaking ability, which opened up shots opportunities like that by Kemba Walker. And then once again, defensively, he's able to, use his veteran savvy to, not gamble, not stab in the backcourt or the front court. But when he gets the ball, because of his playmaking ability, guys know to run because he's an unselfish star player. So I think that's a huge asset to this ball club. And I think they fed off that momentum having one of their guys back.
Certainly, you saw him laying down on the floor. Looked like he played to exhaustion. And Brad Stevens is already available after Game 2. It took him a while to come out of the locker room. Not so much after this Game 3 victory.
Brian Robb.
Hey, Brad. 31 minutes for Gordon tonight. How did you think he looked, and did you ever expect you'd be able to play him that much coming into tonight?
I didn't expect to play him that much, but it was Smart in some foul trouble at the end of the third. Tyson foul trouble. I thought he looked pretty good, and we have 4 days off, so that's why they didn't say, we're just going to monitor him to see how he looks. He asked to come out a couple times. The wind caught up to him a couple times. I thought he did what he's done all year. I mean, he didn't shoot it quite as much, but he is a stabilizing force for our team. He just can make the right play and make a play for somebody else at the right time, and he hit the big 3 as they were making a run. So I think he makes us better, that's for sure.
Question in person, Dan Woodkey.
I think before the series, you kind of joked about the whole road thing, how different is the psyche now to a year knowing that you're not going to have to play all these milestones? I guess, just how this is obviously.
That's a good question. I haven't even thought about it. I think, as I heard Spo say this a couple days ago, feels like the playoffs. So I don't know that I think about whether or not you're playing in your home arena or your road arena or in neutral site or whatever. It's hard. It's tiring. It's tough. So it's felt like that. I don't know that I think it's felt any harder or any easier. It's just felt like the playoffs.
Tim Bontemps.
Brad, how much did Jalen's aggressiveness set the tone for you guys tonight?
Our whole team was aggressive. Our whole team played with the right mentality, and most importantly, responded to, their good runs and tough shots really well, and then pushed leads out. The run at the end of the first half, was a great one, and in response to when they cut it to 4 or 5 right there, and then even when they got it closer in the second, with the exception of the last minute, I thought we responded. Last couple minutes, I thought we responded pretty well.
Question in person, Gary Washburn.
Yeah, I'm a good majority. I think I told the team this yesterday. I certainly told the staff 2 nights ago. Like, this result didn't really matter to me. It was more about, like, what are we going to show ourselves to be? And I thought that we were a really special group, a really good group. And the first time we were pushed to more emotions that challenged us, we got better, and that's encouraging.
Question in person, Malika Andrews.
Yeah, I think you're always got that thing in the back of your mind telling you, the negative side of things, but we just chose to focus on the possession tonight, focus on the task at hand. I still thought we were a little sloppy at times late, and so I think we need to continue to be much better in that regard. But, they're tough. They keep coming at you in the three-pointer. And I said this earlier today, a 17-point lead on Miami is like 8. It just doesn't, it's not that big. And so as bad as we feel, I've seen this story over and over with the three-point shot. And we did some good things tonight to answer their runs most of the time.
Question in person, Jeff Zilgett.
Brad, I know you mentioned that you were happy with the guys who made it out. What did it take, maybe over the past 48 hours, to get from where you were after 18 to where you were at the start of 18 to have this?
Just took a bunch of good people committed to each other. Didn't take any, there's no special talks, no special things, no rah-rah speeches. It's who you have in the locker room and are they committed to each other. And so everybody gets pushed to emotions in sports. That's why I wasn't, I was curious to see what would happen tonight, but I didn't have much doubt. I think this group has some good character.
Question in person, Sam Amick.
Brad, with your closeness with Gordon, the extra layer to his decision to win you guys tonight, not be there for the birth of his poor child when they come, what does that mean in terms of the sacrifice?
Because he said that?
He told Rachel Lynch that.
No, she didn't tell me.
Okay.
So if he wants to go back for the birth of his child, that takes priority. That's his decision. And it's, I want to leave it at that. That's his decision.
Adam Hilsbach.
Brad, Dragic obviously had a ton of success in the first couple of games. Can you just kind of talk about the decision to have Marcus on him a little more tonight, and he did any thoughts on that?
Well, we had to change some of our pick and roll coverages. It still didn't help much on some of the Bam rolls. We still got to be a lot better on Bam. But Marcus's ball pressure on Dragic is obviously something that we need to continue to look at. Dragic is a great player, and he's a guy that's playing the best I've ever seen him play. So, we'll just continue to mix up matchups and do our best, but everybody's got to guard hard. Marcus did a good job early, and even like the Dragic bucket on Grant, I thought was really hard. He hit his chest, and Grant was straight up, and Dragic threw it in, but he does that.
Rebecca Arlo.
Coach, you've stressed throughout these entire playoffs that solid defense leads to transition points on the other end of the floor, and we definitely saw that tonight. How would you evaluate that? And then in addition, also just the points in the paint, the way that you guys attack the basket, was that by design in some ways to send a message with your aggressiveness?
Yeah, we wanted to really attack. If we're putting it on the floor, we want to get to the rim and make a play for ourselves or others. And then if we're not pressuring the ball defensively, if we're waiting to be attacked, we stink. So might as well pressure and see if we can be good.
All right, we'll wrap it up right there.
Brad Stevens bringing us inside of his mind. The next game won't be until Wednesday, so it was interesting to see 3 starters play over 40 minutes. But after game 2, there was the blow up in the locker room, the loud noise, the argument, whatever you want to call it. But you heard Brad Stevens say there wasn't anything in particular that the guys were arguing about, and he didn't say anything in particular. Sam, what did you think of that?
Well, as long as the argument and the frustration is about how they played as a team and how they let 2 games get away, that's fine. When a player comes in and he dresses down the team, as long as he don't start calling out individual players and specific things that happen during the game, it's fine. But when you come in this general context and you're just going off on how you're playing as a team, and Brad Stevens was right. He understood that they needed that and that he knew his team's character and he knew they were going to come out and play well tonight. Didn't necessarily guarantee them a win because Miami had a lot to do with that. But when you watch this Celtics team, defensively, offensively, they had control of this game. There was moments where they almost let it slip away. But at the end of the day, if they move the ball from strong to weak, play defense like they played tonight, and Gordon Hayward with 4 days off, because he was a huge impact having a veteran player at 6'8" with all his skill set. They are back in this basketball tournament. They are back in this series. And the Miami Heat understands that because Gordon Hayward is only going to get better as he plays more minutes.
Karan, what did you make of the Celtics' body language and how they communicated with each other? Because it seemed to be on the up and up.
Well, I felt like the urgency was there. And, to Coach Mitchell's point, I felt like the specific call to action was there as well. Yeah, you have emotions, you have blow-ups, but did you get better from it? Are you more productive from it? And I felt like the guys was. They was unified. They came out. Defensively, they was engaged. Because offensively, you can't control how the ball bounce. But offensively and defensively, they was just clicking on both cylinders. You saw 4 guys, 20-plus points, 60 points in the paint. And specifically, the leadership of Jason Tatum was just, across the boards. I felt like this was his best all-around basketball game. And he knows it. And it was at a crucial point because if they did not get this game 3, we'll be talking about them possibly getting swept by the Miami Heat. And they did a remarkable job at taking away some of the strengths of the Miami Heat ball club.
Yeah, as we know, no team has ever come back from 3-0 in the NBA postseason. Eric Spoelstra made an interesting move towards the end of the game with the Miami Heat coming back. He sat Jimmy Butler late in the 4th quarter. Let's hear from Coach Spo and see what happened with that situation.
Start off with Ira Winderman. Go ahead.
Eric, is there a common theme in the deficits? Obviously, this time you couldn't overcome it, and how concerning is it that it's an uphill climb every game?
Yeah, look, this is the playoffs, so you deal with whatever is in front of you. They came out, Boston did, with great force in this game, and you do have to credit them for that. They sustained it for the better majority of the game. We were on our heels most of the game, flattening us out with our execution, getting us into the end of the clock on too many possessions, and then I think everybody could see the dribble attack, penetration in the paint. We weren't able to contain the ball all night, and you have to credit them. They were playing with great force.
Eric, Jimmy was out at the end. Andre didn't play the second half. Is there an injury issue with them or just other factors?
No, we're just trying to get something quick, right there at the end.
Thank you.
Tim Reynolds.
Eric, I know you said that you weren't, we all saw what was going on in the paint, but 12 for 44 for 3 is also uncharacteristic. Without the benefit of tape, did you
Yeah, that's fine. But you just got the feeling that we were trying to make shots to be able to stay in the game and skip steps. This is the conference finals playing against a really good team. You cannot lack in the areas of toughness, physicality, detail, force. They won all of those battles, plus, the easy transition ones. So maybe if we shot a better percentage, it would have been closer. But they did enough things to put themselves in a great position to win this game.
Ellie Adams, ETV.
Hey, Coach. How will you guys utilize these next couple games or these next couple days before your next game to improve?
I don't know. I'll figure that out. Got some time. Be good. I want you guys thinking about this.
Any other questions for Coach?
All right. Thank you.
Gordon Hayward was huge off the bench for the Celtics in Game 3. We'll hear from him and several other players next on Game 3 between Boston and Miami. Gordon Hayward making his return to the Celtics lineup, and Sam back like he never missed any time.
Yeah, that's the thing that you like about Gordon. He came into the game not looking to score, but to facilitate. And him in a high screening role at 6'8", when he gets into the paint, he can just rise up above those small defenders and shoot.
Well, Jason Tatum looking to score, giving the Celtics a big lead after one. Then on the other end, it's Tyler Hero heating up. 16 points in the second quarter, 18 at the half, 22 off the bench in the game. Karan, he was sensational.
Yeah, man, fellow cheesehead. His shot-making ability was on point, as it always has been for the whole playoff run for the Miami Heat.
And how about Jason Tatum on point, throwing down the dagger? Hero knew not to get a hand up. Jaylen Brown playing a defense. Here, they switch roles. There's Tatum finding Brown, and the Celtics cruising in the second quarter. Another steal, another finish on the other end, and another double-digit lead at the half. But again, in both games in this series, it's Miami that came back in the second half. But the Celtics looking strong, Karan, like they weren't trying to give up this lead.
Yeah, like Sam touched on, they had double-figure lead all these games, and this game in particular, they got the league and they just kept their foot on the gas pedal, and those guys did a remarkable job at just imposing their will on it. Look at this defensive play right there by Brown. Strong finish.
But Miami not done yet. They had missed 15 straight threes at one point, but look at the score, right back in it, an 11-2 run. And you have a single-digit game. Duncan Robinson breaking that drought with another three. And then Robinson finding Bam Adebayo, finishing at the bucket with less than a minute to go. And we have a tight game yet again. Just a 5-point lead. Marcus Smart driving is fouled. Heads to the free throw line. He's one of 4 Celtics with over 20 points. 3 starters played over 40 minutes. And they sealed a victory, their first of this series. Final score, 117-106. Not spotted on your leaderboard is Gordon Hayward, who had 6 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, but did tweet this. Good team win. Felt great to be back out there. He also had 4 steals. Here is Gordon Hayward following that win, getting a lot of love on social media.
Hi, Gordon. This is your first game since 1 month. How do you feel, and how do you think that you helped the team to win and maybe to change the momentum of the series?
Yeah, I mean, it was, definitely felt weird out there. It's been 4 or 5 weeks or whatever since I played basketball, so I think it was really fun to be back out there with the team, with the guys. I just tried to impact our team in winning ways, whatever I could do. And first 5 minutes, I was gassed. I'm extremely tired right now. My ankle's pretty sore, but just proud of the way we fought. Proud of us getting the win.
Next question is from Abby Chan.
Gordon, Brad talked about your ability to stabilize things offensively. What was your mindset in dealing with this Miami defense tonight? And how do you do that against this team that just keeps coming at you?
Yeah, I mean, they're a hard-playing team. They compete. They're obviously extremely well coached, and they don't give up. So, and I think they also have a lot of guys that can get going, especially from the outside. So leads aren't safe, and they can score in bunches on us, as we've seen the first two games and tonight. I think me personally, just trying to help us offensively, being somebody that can get in the paint, create, also trying to help us rebound, bring the ball up. I think if we can run, they can't set their defense, and we have so many athletes, so many guys that can score and bring up the ball, and it makes it difficult for them.
Mark Murphy.
Hey, Gordon. I know you had initially expressed a desire to be with Robin when she gave birth.
Yeah. What
has changed? Was it just going back there to rehab and then coming down later to the bubble?
Yeah, I mean, I think that obviously wasn't in the plan. Getting injured and going back to Indianapolis for treatment. I trust those guys with everything back there, and so obviously I think a little bit lucky that Robin was there already in Indy, so I got a chance to be at home and get great treatment. But you know what, that wasn't in the plan, and I mean, Robin could be, having a baby at any point in time, and so I think it's probably something that I'll be here, and by the time I get back, I might miss the birth. If she just goes in and rushes into the hospital. So, we discussed it, we prayed about it, and I think it's probably best if I stay here and, help our team.
Mark Medina.
Hey, Gordon. What's this process been like for the past few weeks of, dealing with so many different things, with healing the injury and getting ready to come back tonight, being with family and preparing for, the upcoming birth?
I mean, this has been something I've never dealt with, as far as just all of it together. There's a lot that's going on for me individually, for my family, and then the rehab just with Corona and the bubble, and trying to do the best that I can to not have to quarantine for many days, coming back here, having to quarantine, basically take 5 days off from treatment and rehab, and then try to get myself ready to play in the Eastern Conference Finals. I mean, that's something that's a daunting task for sure. So for me, I just have tried to do the best I can each day with it, and not put any pressure on myself, just trying to help us win basketball games, honestly.
Question in person, Gordon, from Gary Washburn.
On the spot.
Yeah, Gordon, how did you feel out there? Okay, were you ready? Were you 100% or close? Can you give me kind of a percentage of where you're at physically? And then you said you were tired playing 31 minutes.
I didn't realize I played that many. Yeah, I mean, the first 5 minutes hit differently for sure. That's the first time I played, 5-on-5 basketball. Just with the way that rehab had to be done here, it's just been so different. So I haven't had really an opportunity to get going, and I think definitely not 100%, but it's kind of just what it is. We're in the Eastern Conference Finals, and so I'm going to give us whatever I can. I think as we keep going, I'll find my rhythm and be better and better. That's the plan, at least.
Another question in person from Sam Hammett.
Gordon, considering everything you're going through, this is probably a stretch, but I wonder, when you play the Heat, does that thought still cross your mind at all, that kind of what might have been in terms of a couple of years ago and how close it seemed like you were going that direction?
Yeah, I mean, it was, honestly, that hasn't crossed my mind. I think there's other things I have on my mind, but certainly, I love their organization. They do a great job. I think they're one of the great organizations in this league. Like I said, obviously extremely well coached, from the top to the bottom. They do things the right way, and so you can see it by the way they play, by the way they compete. They're a really good team.
Last question from Jared Weiss, Gordon.
Gordon, you made a huge impact on the defensive end, especially with how complicated Miami is switching when you're trying to switch them on the perimeter and then they cut really hard down the middle. What was the key to being able to make those reads and figure out who you have to follow and who you don't have to follow as they're kind of all over the place?
Yeah, I mean, that's just our system defensively. And I think our versatility allows us to do different things on that end of the court. They're really good on that end, and they put you in tough spots. It's different than a lot of teams play. Not as much isolation, way more cutting, slipping, running hard off screens and shooting. I mean, they are tough to guard. So I think we did an okay job. We can certainly do better. I think that's what film is for, and hopefully we can build off this one.
Thank you, Gordon. Welcome back.
Thanks, guys.
State Farm assist of the night, no other than Gordon Hayward. Nice dish. As soon as he came into the game, he dropped a dime to Daniel Tice. Well, he's the first
drop
Celtics.
off. Oh!
He's the first Celtics player we've heard from, but he
Bersham right there, everything in the paint, and look, didn't fall for the bait with Miami tonight when they went to zone to take those threes. Jaylen Brown, very efficient tonight.
The one mid-range jumper also dropped, like you said, going to work inside of the paint. Well, according to Stats Muse, Jason Tatum also had himself a pretty historic game. He joins LeBron James as well, but let's hear from Jaylen Brown.
Hey, Jaylen, you've got the ability to score in so many ways, but it was clear that you were attacking the basket tonight. I mean, with the dunks that we saw from your team. I mean, how much of that was a message that you were trying to send, and how important was it to control the paint tonight?
Very, very important to control the paint, and just had to get back to what I do best. That's what I came into the league doing. Different matchups, different situations call for, me to be able to have to be versatile and play different roles on this team. But, what I do best is get to the basket. So I wanted to come out and just be the best version of myself.
Question in person, Jeff Silver.
Just by honing in, focusing. There's some great guys in that locker room. A lot of emotion, a lot of passion, but we're a family and we're here for each other at the end of the day. So we exemplified that when we came out together. We stayed together during some tough moments. They made a big run. I think at the end of the second quarter, Tyler Herro made some big plays, but we didn't hang our head. We kept our will high and we persevered to win this game.
And you talked the other day about you guys needing to play a full 48 minutes. Is this closer to the kind of effort that you want to see?
Yeah, it was, I think, much better. For sure, I think we still have a lot of improvement. I think we got towards the end of the game, we could finish games better. I don't think we finished today as well as we would have liked, but I think we played some good basketball today all the way through. We just got to finish games a little bit better.
Question in person, Morgan Mitchell.
I don't think so. I think, basketball is basketball. It's good to always get some rest. I think that'll be good for us coming off a tough series versus Toronto as well. I'm looking forward to the next game. I think we all are. So we got to keep our minds locked in and engaged. The game don't start on Wednesday. The game start now. So getting ready and getting prepared for the next one is just as important.
Question in person, Gary Washburn.
To be honest, I didn't get much sleep the last 48 hours, man. I was so, antsy to get back and play basketball. I don't think the last two games exemplify, what this team is about. So I couldn't wait to come out and be the best version of myself and, and try to add to a win. And I'm glad to be a part of this team and this organization, and I'm proud of how we responded.
Jalen, you guys did a good job of responding to Miami runs and cutting them off at like 10 or 11, not to get bigger. What was the difference tonight in allowing them to do that, and how much did having Gordon do with that?
Gordon was great. Welcome back for Gordon. Just having an extra body, another guy that can make plays, was huge for us. He had some big plays during this game, and he's only going to continue to go up. I think that just being together and being locked in, and not relaxing, not taking a break, because as soon as you turn your head or you relax, those guys are flying off shooting threes. So you got to be locked in the whole time to find ways to win.
Jalen, you've mentioned it, but how much are you willing to share? What were the last 48 hours like? I mean, we've heard rumors and talks, meetings, and phone calls and stuff. I mean, what can you tell us?
That it was probably blown out of proportion. Like, we are in a bubble. It's a lot of grown men. It's a lot of passion and emotion going on. But at the end of the day, we're a family. We represent this organization. We represent each other. And, we won't ever let anything come in between that. We got a tremendous opportunity, and we understand that. And nothing's going to stop us from trying to maximize that.
Jason Tatum, 25 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, joins LeBron James for most games before turning 23 since 1965 with that stat line. Again, he has 4 of them, including tonight. Jason Tatum also joined us here earlier tonight.
Hey, Jason, Caron Butler here. Just what was the biggest adjustment, for you guys to get this quality victory? I know Gordon Hayward came in and he's healthy now, but did you guys have, just an offensive adjustment or defensive adjustment that really led you guys to this quality win?
I think, we had some defense, first and foremost. I think in the first 2 games we gave up too many transition points, too many backdoor cuts, things that we worked on that we feel like we can control. And it felt great to have G back out there. We've been playing for a while without him, but it felt great to have him back, have our full team back and healthy. And we missed him, so it's glad to have him back, and hopefully we keep this thing rolling.
Jason, Sam Mitchell here. You had, in my estimation, you had your best overall game in the playoffs thus far when you look at what you've done on the offense and defensive end. You guys have had the lead in all 3 of these games. How important was it tonight for you to come out and not just score the basketball, but get your teammates involved and make sure that y'all scored more out of your offense than out of your individual talent, one-on-one play?
Yeah, obviously, just being more vocal, just emphasize, that, in the previous 2 games, we had a big lead, and, we got away, got careless, and let them come back. So we got a great team, but, I tell myself I'm the best player every time I step on the court. It's not just about scoring. It's about impacting the game on both sides and doing whatever I can to help us win. And, I think I did that tonight. We had some great performances by other guys, and that's what we're going to need. To achieve what we want, everybody's going to have to chip in.
A full team effort by the Boston Celtics. Jason Tatum, thanks for stopping by Game Time. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Well, Jimmy Butler was not in the game in the final minute of the 4th quarter while healthy. Why not?
Ellie Adams, UTV, go ahead.
Hey, Jimmy. Tell me about, you guys were able to close up the lead towards the end. Tell me about the no quit attitude that this team has.
We've never given up, but I think it gets old playing from behind consistently, especially against a great team like Boston and what they bring to the table. We don't quit, but we don't ever want to, I wouldn't say ever, but we should stop putting ourselves in that position and start playing our type of basketball from the jump.
Rachel Nichols.
Jimmy, if you had to sum up sort of one idea of why
you guys lost this game?
We didn't play hard enough. I think we didn't do anything that we said that we were going to do. We knew how they were going to attack us. We weren't helping each other. We weren't making an extra pass a lot of the times. We weren't playing basketball the way that we have been to win the games that we have been winning. We understand that. So, there's nothing that coach can say. There's nothing that OG can say. We get it, and we have to be the ones to fix that.
Cooper Moorhead. 60 points in the paint for them. I know you guys are going to look down and break down the film, but where were the breakdowns defensively that had them getting involved?
We just got to stay in front of our man. Simple as that. I think we put too much on Bam to always be there, and he can't save us every single time. He's great at help defense. He's great on the ball, but he already does enough for us. You can't just get beat and expect for Bam to come and save you every time.
David from La Gazzetta dello Sport, Italy.
Hey, Jimmy, you mentioned Bam. What did you see from him tonight?
He did everything he could to try to will us to this win all game long. Passing the ball, guarding, obviously scoring and rebounding the basketball. We continually need him to play like that, which he will, and we'll bounce back.
Mateo Mayorga. Mateo, go ahead.
Hi, Jimmy. How important has the Council of Team Captain Udonis Haslam been throughout this playoff run? And what advice did he give the guys in the locker room after the loss?
That this is part of basketball. We want to win them all. Sometimes you don't. But all in all, we just had to play harder, play more together, and be more locked in. I'm not going to say that we thought that this was going to be easy, because it's not the case. But we got to put up a lot more fight from the jump. Be the nastier team, be the more scrappier team. That's what he said at halftime. That's what he said before the game and after the game. So hopefully we understand that coming in the next time we play.
Anthony Chang.
And Jimmy, 21 assists for you guys. I think a little low just with the way you guys played. Offensively, did you like the looks you guys got? And 12-44 on threes.
I always like the looks that we have. Like I said earlier, I don't think we made the extra pass a lot of the time. And that's not because anybody on our team is selfish. That's definitely not the case. I just think sometimes we take it upon ourselves to try to get us back in the games. I'm never complaining about anybody's shots, but on the defensive end, I think that's when we definitely didn't help each other. So got to be better on that part.
And last question, Tab Deportes from Puerto Rico.
Hi, Jimmy. How do you feel to be a leader for this young team in a conference finals and the way the team is playing right now?
I think we're playing well. I think we can play better. I love going to war with these guys, though. I say it time and time again. Now we really see what we're made of. They won a game. You can say that they have the momentum. Now it's up to us to come in and win the next one. We're definitely capable of it. We got a lot to fix, and we got to get back to playing basketball the way that we know how.
Jimmy, thanks for your time, sir.
Oh, Jimmy Butler saying that the Heat didn't play hard enough like they did in the first two games. They have a couple of nights to stew over it. It's Wednesday, Game 4 at 8:30. So who benefits more from this? Looking at the Celtics, they had 3 starters play over 40 minutes. Gordon Hayward make his return, play 30 minutes. It would seem like the Celtics, but Karan, who benefits more from these 4 days off?
I don't know who benefits more from the 4 days off, but I know who has the momentum in their favor and they feeling mighty confident, and that's the Boston Celtics. When you look at offensively what they was able to put together and also winning their first game with one of their stars back in Gordon Hayward, that's just a welcome sign. He played, a bulk of minutes, and he played extremely well offensively, moving the ball around and sharing it. They had 4 guys, 20-plus points, and also scoring 60 points in the paint. That's a huge plus. That's something that you can sit on and feel really good about until their next game.
Sam, who do you think has the advantage?
I think this helps the Boston Celtics. Having time off, look, Jason Tatum said it. They had a tough 7-game series against defending champions, Toronto Raptors. And then to come out and have those leads the way they did and squander them away in the second half, that has sustained. They played a lot better tonight. won a huge game. But Gordon Hayward is going to be an integral part of this team going forward. You saw how they looked. You saw the things that they were able to do once he's back in the lineup. These days off are going to help him. He gets a day off to rest, and then he has 2 more days to work on his conditioning and timing and his touch. So these days off are definitely going to help the Celtics because Gordon Hayward needs the extra work.
Certainly, those guys get more days off than us right now. Fellas, how about that? He's Caron Butler. That's Sam Mitchell.
Man, we don't need no days off. We don't need no load management.
No, we don't. Everyone's chasing that trophy, and we're chasing the dream right here with you. We'll see you.